Greetings, comrades. We hope you are fine wherever you are. In this short video, we are discussing the issue of returning residents, that is ZEP holders who might not be able to move to other visas and want to return back to Zimbabwe. We have been asked whether they will be treated as returning residents. As you would know, that when you are working outside Zimbabwe, and you are returning back to Zimbabwe after your contract has ended, normally you are treated as a returning resident. That means you do not pay a duty to your motor vehicle and the other properties that you are bringing into the country. Now, the Zimbabwean government has not made a decision on the returning residents under the ZEP. We've been talking to the Consul General in South Africa, Johannesburg, to be specific, and she advises that the Zimbabwean government has not made a decision on that. Part of the challenge, we think, that on the Zimbabwean government is the interpretation of the grace period vis-a-vis the date on the sticker permit, the expiry date on the sticker permit. As you would know, that the ZEP expired on the 31st of December 2021, but there's a grace period of 12 months. So they are yet to resolve on that because, again, we have not heard people who are now saying they want to return back to Zimbabwe on the basis that they do not qualify to move to other visas. So other comrades are asking on how they are going to be treated when they finally return to Zimbabwe. So we will continue to engage the Zimbabwean government through the embassy and the consulate to understand what plans are there. There were those that the government says one is given a grace period of 3 months if a returning resident to take back your property, meaning that the 3 months expires on the 31st of March if they are using the sticker. But what we are saying is that, as we understand, there's no decision that has been taken. Because what we know is that a number of comrades who are holders of ZEP are busy trying to move to other visas. So we will know because as we say that at this stage we do not know how many people want to return back to Zimbabwe. So at this stage we do not have any clue, but it's all going to be clear towards the end of the year when it is clear that people have not been able to move to other visas. So we'll continue engaging the Zimbabwean government to understand so that they will treat the permit to have expired on the 31st of December 2022 in line with the grace period. So that's what we are taking to them to say if someone by the 31st of December 2022 has not been able to move to other visas, this person must be treated as a returning resident. The other issue that we are looking into, which we are being asked about, is the issue of the Provident Fund and all other benefits to workers. We are engaging with the Department of Labor, as we said, when we're answering questions from comrades. I think it was last week. We did indicate that the African Diaspora Forum is arranging a meeting with the Director General of Labor. We had said to discuss what the Minister of Labor and Employment raised in terms of the 3 months consultation on foreign labor issues. So in that meeting, once that meeting happens, we will also raise the issue of those holders of ZEP one able to move to other visas, and who want then move back to Zimbabwe, so that people will be able to receive their benefits, the provident fund and other benefits, so that no one loses out. So we are in consultation. We are waiting for the meeting to happen. Once the meeting happens with the Department of Labor, whether at the level of the DG or at the level of other directors, we are going to raise the issue of provident fund to them, so that we begin to assist those that want to move back to Zimbabwe. But what we have explained is that you cannot apply for a UIF when you are still working. This is what we understand to be the case, that you cannot apply for a UIF when you are still working. But what we want to do, because the grace period, it goes up to 31st December 2022. So what we want to do is that, say within 4 months to the expire of the grace period, one is unable to move to other visas. One then should give notice to the employer that their contract will expire on the 31st of December. Uh, uh, on the 31st of December 2022, so that whatever is owed to the worker, it is paid out within a reasonable time. So we think it is important that that is around August, we should have known what is the status of this issue, so that those that are very clear that they will not be able to move, they can then give notice to their employers that their contracts expires on the 31st of December 2022, so that the company can pay them on the expire of their contract whatever is due to them. And then there's Comrade Samuel Nkanyane, who's writing here, says, why are you not advising your people to go home and vote and fight for Zimbabwe instead of being cowardly lectures burdening South Africans? Hi man, disappoint me again, man. Comrade Samuel Nkanyane, the people of Zimbabwe have been voting since 1980. We have dealt with the history of an electoral dispute, particularly which I think you might be very aware, in 2008, when it took about close to 2 months for the results to be announced, and the military had to beat up people who had voted against the ZANU-PF. So we know about state-sponsored violence, but that does not mean, Comrade Samuel Nkanyane, that we do not encourage people to vote. If you indeed follow our discussions on this YouTube channel, you will know that we do speak about voter registration and the participation of the diaspora in the voting process or in the electoral process in Zimbabwe. So indeed, that's something that we always discuss, Comrade Samuel Nkanyane. What Zimbabweans can do, Comrade Samuel Nkanyane, is to register to vote when rigging happens. In most cases, it is out of their hands when SADC and others declare elections to be free and fair. When elections were not free and fair, there's nothing much that Zimbabweans can do. You will recall what happened on the 1st of August 2018, when the military killed people in Harare, and there was a Halema Monkiande commission that went to investigate and publish the report. No one is acting on that report, and I do not think you want Zimbabweans then need to start war, so that you see that they are serious and stabilize the region as it were. But what you are raising, Comrade Samuel Kanyan, is something that we always attend to. Then there's Comrade Loveness Mkondo, says, good morning, Mr. Mapena, though I'm always called a comrade. It's true we have been voting and also suffering at the same time. Thank you so much for the information. We'll keep on voting, Comrade Loveness Mkondo. We will not abandon our revolutionary duty. It is our revolutionary duty to participate in the electoral process, so we'll always continue doing so. Then there's another issue that we thought we needed to raise. You will know that there are many comrades that have decided that they want to challenge in the courts the decision by the South African cabinet on the 24th of November 2021 not to renew ZEP. We are aware that comrades are asked by other comrades to pay 1,500 rands to raise legal fees. What we want to point out is that the Zimbabwe community in South Africa is not part of the court process. As you know, we did announce that we took a position that we will not take the South African government to court over the non-renewal of ZEP. If negotiations do not bear any fruits, well, thus we will have to live with that. We do not think that we'll go to court, but we respect, as we said, we respect the decision of those that want to go to court. It is their democratic right. We receive on daily basis numerous messages from members of the Zimbabwe community asking us about the 1,500, the legal fees, whether we're part of the court process. It's important to clarify that we decided as far back before even 2010 to go through the political route, that is to negotiate. But that does not mean others, of course, others might sing our route or our attitude to this problematic to an extent that they want to go to court. We respect that. But we are saying whatever the South African government does, if it does not want to review its decision to say let's accommodate particularly those of low skill to continue working in South Africa who are holders of ZEP, we will not go to court. This is why we're saying if it comes to a push and people have to return to Zimbabwe, there's nothing much that we can do. We do not think we have to challenge the decision of the sovereign state in their courts. We do not think our position as the leadership of the Zimbabwe community, we do not think so. What we should be doing is to challenge the Zimbabwean government in the Zimbabwean courts for creating conditions for us to leave Zimbabwe, because in every election campaign, promises are made that they are going to do blah 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 in rebuilding the economy. That does not happen, and that we think that we should be confronting our own government in Zimbabwe for not building an economy that will enable Zimbabweans to work in Zimbabwe. We do not think we need to be challenging the South African government to accommodate us. We should not be forcing ourselves to the South Africans. We negotiate based on humanitarian position to say there is indeed a crisis in Zimbabwe, and we need our neighbors to assist, as we did in 2010, as we did in 2001, was it? Yes, 2002, with the asylum documents. When in 2002, in May, the South African government then decided to issue asylum documents to Zimbabweans. Firstly, it was in Braamfontein. It was all through negotiations, and we always prefer the route to negotiate, and because what we always say is that not every Zimbabwean in South Africa is a holder of ZEP. So if say we the majority or holders of ZEP are not accommodated, they have to go back to Zimbabwe. We still have Zimbabweans that will remain in South Africa who are in various visas. So we do not want to ruin the relationship, as it were, to say we take government to court over ZEP, but we'll find ourselves here to negotiate for other things with the South African government. So this is the reason why we are not going to court, because there's also a perception that in every Zimbabwean in South Africa is a holder of a ZEP. That is not correct. There are many Zimbabweans that are either are on permanent residence. You remember the amnesty of 1996, a lot of Zimbabweans benefited. There are many Zimbabweans that are qualified for a PR through the normal work permit or work visa, which they were granted some years back. They stayed here for more than 5 years. They applied, they qualified for PR. So, and in the last 10 years, we know that others that came through other visas also qualified for PR. Others are still renewing their various visas, which are not ZEP. But the perception out there is that every Zimbabwean is on ZEP. This is not correct. So this is why the Zimbabwe community in South Africa then said, while we understand the plight of holders of ZEP and also the position of the South African government, we do not think going to court is the right route. But as I'm saying, we respect the decision of those that are going to court. So if you want to contribute towards the legal fees for those that are going to court, it is your decision that you have to make as a holder of ZEP. So we wanted that to be very clear. Comrade Simo Dube, you are saying vote never work. Well, we will discuss when we discuss the our internal politics in Zimbabwe. But you are raising a very important point on Sunday when we, in our political education we asked the question to say, can you dismantle a deep state through an election? Is something that we need to attend to. Then no, I'm not sure there's non-Hlanhla or non-Lala. I'm sorry not to pronounce your name correctly. Lufunya says, why are we being denied the right to renew my card disk? Yes, Mr. Mtswalet said ZEP payment said my payment is valid. Please help me understand what is the Gauteng license department is doing. When we spoke to some directors at the Department of Home Affairs, they said when we're asking about the renewal of driver's licenses, they said that the Department of Transport is saying that their system does not allow them to renew a driver's license for less than a year. This is what we were told, that their system does not allow them to do so. You will also know that if you speak to people that are running driving schools, I think there's an ongoing strike that involves people that are in the driving schools, because they are having difficulty to book for their clients, because the Department of Transport has changed the system, even the system of booking. This does not only affect migrants, it also affects South Africans. So I think it is the system, because we're told that the system does not allow for a renewal of less than a year. So I would imagine that it might be the case with the disk, that because it's now less than 9 months before the ZEP, the grace period expires. So that might be the case. And but if you are able to move to other visa and you are granted your new permit, you will not have difficulties in renewing. So I think it will be difficult for those that are unable to move to other visas, Comrade Lifunye. And you also remember that we did do a video on people that have property that might not be able to move to other visas. We said, say if you own a house, you can sell it or rent it out if you are going back to Zimbabwe. If it's a pre-owned vehicle, a motor vehicle, you can return it to the bank. If you have paid it in full, it is now in your name. This is what we were talking about earlier on about returning residents, holders of ZEP, who might not be able to move to other visas, so that you can take your car without paying duty to Zimbabwe. And we said, if you just joined now, that the Zimbabwean government is yet to take a decision on the returning residents who are holders of the Zimbabwe exemption permits. In the absence of any other questions, comrades, thank you so much for joining, and we thank you for always posting your questions, and we thank you for subscribing to this YouTube channel. At times we do not do live, as and so we'll try to do live maybe once or twice a week, if time allows, so that because live is at least interactive, we are able to respond to questions on the spot, as opposed to when we do a pre-recorded video. The reason why we do a pre-recorded video, the conditions will not be allowing us to go live. Otherwise, thank you so much, comrades. Please keep on posting your questions. We will continue to assist where possible. And Comrade Simo Dube says, what outcome of meeting yesterday, Mr. Mabena, about Imbizo? I'm not aware of the meeting that you are referring to, or about Imbizo. I'm not aware of any meeting, Comrade Simo Dube. In the last video, we said we are arranging a meeting as the African Diaspora Forum with the DG of Home Affairs and the DG of Department of Labor and Employment. So I'm not aware of any other meetings that relate to the documentation project or the holders of ZEP. Thank you, comrades. I've already said goodbye. Otherwise, have a great day. Bye bye.